Okay, it says I'm starting. It says ready. Okay, assuming I'm live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Maxwell Ivey. Max to my friends out there, Mr. Midway to some of you. I welcome you to another of our Wednesday night get-togethers here on Google. And I want to welcome Mitchell, my moderator, and hopefully there'll be some other people that join us this evening. I know William mentioned on his blog that we were doing the hangout, so hopefully some more people have seen it this week. How you doing, Mitchell?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I don't know. I'm not hearing you in my headset. I'm hearing you on my laptop speakers.
Uh-oh.
Aggregate device.
Okay, well, at least I checked it. All right. So things going good with the radio station?
Yes. Got servers transferred, so that's good. App is in development. Just got off the phone with the app developer shortly before getting here. Um, got an email today. I will have audio drops here shortly in the next couple days or so. So that's good. Things are just trucking along. So
Well, that's good. That's good. If if you don't mind, if you could send me an email and let me know what kind of cost was involved in getting your app done, I would appreciate it because I've wanted to have an app for a long time, but I'm not capable of doing it myself, mainly because the applications you have to use in order to create the code are not accessible yet. Android is somewhat accessible, and iPhone is not accessible at all unless it's changed in the last month or so. But it just seems like anytime I think about hiring somebody, it's like, man, I can't afford that kind of money. So I've never really even looked into what it would cost. But since I know you, I'm thinking that if you know this person who is developing the app for your radio station, then and you like what they do for you, then I'd feel a lot more comfortable about investing whatever it would take in order to get me an app. I would especially like it if there's some way that this app could um, not only display my equipment, but give them give them access to the submission form for submitting links or add listings to the website, and also maybe have if it's not too much trouble, if you could mention this to them, it's just to give them some ideas what I'm thinking about. If there'd be some way that I could have them be able to get access to the videos, because in a lot of cases I've got videos that go with ads, but those videos are hosted on YouTube, so I don't know how difficult that is to do. So if you could get me and them together and just keep me up to date as far as how the process goes and what you think of it, I'd sure appreciate it.
not a problem.
Because I know I need an app. I mean, uh, basically everybody knows the usual people that want to buy and sell equipment. Where I'm going to be successful is if I can find people that the rest of them aren't thinking of or looking for, or that wouldn't necessarily go looking for us. So, if I could getting an app would put me in the app stores and might give me a chance to get on phones in a place where my competitors aren't yet accessible. So, at least that's what I'm thinking. Kind of like when I do these hangouts. I don't know that I'm going to sell anything or even meet anybody, but I figure it's an opportunity. So, of course, the big difference is this is free. Creating an app would cost money.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
that is correct.
unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately. And my Indiegogo campaign isn't going as good as yours. So,
Hey, mine got $100 and then sat there for a month and a half.
well, that puts you at 10 times what I've raised. But I did get some good news on that front just yesterday, or Monday actually. I called into the radio station on Monday because due to some other other appointments that cropped up, I wasn't able to do the radio show, Brian the Hammer Jackson, on Blog Talk Radio for like 2 weeks. So I told him I'd come on Monday morning. I'm on. They're doing a thing in Biloxi, Mississippi, September 21st. It's called the Independent World Music Awards. You might want to look them up because they might be going to honor some of the people that you play the music for. Who knows? I might ought to get you and them together. Y'all might could do some sort of a promotion with each other. I don't know. But they like to promote independent artists, musicians, writers, filmmakers. Mainly because the guy who hosts the show, Brian Jackson, he used to be in the film business, and a lot of time he had a production company, and he had a lot of really good people working for him. He said they did a lot of good work, but a lot of times they had trouble making the payroll, and he got tired of having to tell good people they had to go find other work because as an independent company they weren't getting paid. So they really like to help independent groups. It's Independent World Music Awards, September 21st at the Hard Rock Cafe in Biloxi, Mississippi. You can go to MVPOnDemand.com, and there'll probably be a link on there where you can buy tickets if you're in the area or want to go. But the reason I mention it, partly because they have been real supportive of me, so I like to mention them. But in a small way, a very small way, I sponsor the radio show. It doesn't cost me a lot of money because I started doing it over a year ago, so I was basically the first one. Well, when they do this thing, they're going to put a booth up for me, and whatever merchandise I have available, they're going to have it there and be selling it to people on my behalf. So I don't know that there'll be a lot of people that want to buy the stuff, or if they do, then I'll make a lot of money out of it, but it could be a good opportunity. I just wish I could go there myself, but that ain't going to happen. So that was some good news, and they say there's going to be some other things they're going to be doing to help me promote the merchandise and the website. So looking forward to finding out what else they got in mind. There was something else they did mention. Oh yeah, they've got a TV network that's fixing to go live, and they hinted that if my Indiegogo campaign doesn't come up with the money, that they might be able to help me do something to get my show going through their network. So we'll see how that goes.
That would be cool.
That would be very cool, yeah. When I was talking to Brian on Tuesday, he said, well, you know, they're looking for new shows, they're looking for unique talents. I said, well, come on, son, there ain't nobody more unique or unusual than I am. I'm the only one doing this the way I'm doing it. So whether or not they want to make a show out of me, I don't know. But I went to their new website where you can access the TV network, and it's got my banner on there already. They say I can't, of course I can't see it, but they say it looks like a movie poster. Say all the ads on that side are going to look like movie posters. So I wish I had the link on me. I'd give it to you so you could tell me what it looks like. But I can't remember that link. Darn it. I'll find it and send it to you. But
all right.
But that would be cool if, because there's A&E and Lifetime and E and BET. You got all these cable networks doing new shows, but if you go to their website and try to pitch them a new show, they tell you no, you got to have an agent, and they got to call us, and then maybe we'll call them. So. And I don't really know that I have more than maybe just a crazy ass idea. So, but it'd be nice if they could hook me up with somebody. But the good thing is I've known them long enough that even if they don't do it, it won't be because they didn't try. It'll be because they did try really hard and it just didn't work out. So, good thing about it.
So that's a good thing to know. It's not one of those. Well, it's not that they didn't try. They tried for me.
Yeah, it's nice to know that the people you're working with aren't going to blow smoke up your ass and tell you a good story. That if they tell you something, it means something. So that's always really good to know, kind of people that you're working with. One of the reasons why I'm never really disappointed about the number of listings I have on my website is because I know that if I had 300 or 500 or 1,000 listings, I'd have a lot of people listing equipment on my site that I really didn't want to do business with, or that I really didn't want to send a buyer to, So I kind of I like all the people over at the Hammer show. There's Ryan, there's Kelly Corbin, Ellen. I don't know her last name. Carrie Brooks, and like I said, you might I might ought to send them your website because who knows, they might want to do something to promote the IWMAs because I gotta believe that some of the people who have been nominated for their awards are probably being played on your station. I mean,
Yeah, I'd have to look into it to see who all they have, or
yeah,
if maybe even
I don't
there's
know that
somebody
you can
that.
see I don't know that you can see the nominations, but you might at least be able to see some of the people that are going to be giving awards. I'll send your email address to Kelly, and I'll ask her about it and see what she says, and I'll CC you on it so you get back whatever I get from her. But
Okay.
like I said, considering what they're going for, I'll be shocked if at least a few of the people that you play on your station aren't being honored or mentioned or something.
Well, the majority of the people on my station are, well, actually, at this point, 100% of the people on my station are all from the exact same label. So that label, Big Monster Cat, and I will send you. Actually, I have a link I need to send you for a really good article. It showed up on Billboard this past week, and it's just about the history of the label and the guy who started the label, name of Mike Darlington. He openly admits, he's like, that's not what I was trying to do when I started. That's not where I wanted this to go at all. But but here I am, multi-million-dollar business after 3 years, and it's not what I was going for at all. It's like, well, aren't you happy? But just talking about how he grew his business and how it really is a family, well, that's really cool. You're giving all the credit to the
Nice,
artist instead of
yeah, it's
him.
nice to get recognized by an outfit like Billboard.
Well, they're moving up in the music world, but they're still not big yet. Most of them have only been around for about 3 years.
Okay. Now let's see. My friend Lorraine regularly, who sometimes edits my work when she thinks it needs it, which is usually about half the time, on my blog post, she is a writer by trade, so if she sees errors in my punctuation or my spelling, she will let me know about it. And sometimes she'll just get so upset she'll just fix it for me. So, but she finally released her first book of short stories called Risk. Risk. Oh, now she's going to kill me. Oh hell, I can't remember the name of the book now. Go to wordingwell.com and you can find it over there. Maybe you could go to wordingwell.com for me while I'm talking to Mitchell and get the name of the book for me, could you?
Yeah, give me 30 seconds.
It'll be right. Go to wordingwell.com, then go to the blog. It's the first post on her blog. I want to make sure I mention the name because basically I'll feel bad if I don't. But there's 4 fairly long short stories, and there's also a poem. It's her first book, and it's available for sale on Amazon and a couple other places. And I'm really hoping she does well with it. She's working on a memoir, and she's also working on another book of stories. So I think she was originally planning on having 8 stories in this book, but it got to be where the process of putting it together and getting it online took so long and so much effort that she decided to put less in it just to get it done so she could complete it and
Risky issues.
and start building an audience. Risky business?
Risky issues.
Risky issues. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And like I said, you can go to her website, or you can go to Amazon and look for Lorraine Reguly. The last name is Reguly. And she sent me a copy of it, and I've read the introduction and the first story, and I'm very impressed with it. I've already started forwarding it to people and telling them that they should go, or forwarding the blog post and telling them they should go buy a copy. Um, she's had a pretty rough life. Some of it her own doing, some of it other people's doing, but I think she's finally where she ought to be. So looking forward to her next book that I think is probably going to be a memoir. And I think she's also working on some paid blog posts for some people. Uh, if you need a book to read and you're not looking for the usual summer reading of smut or fluff, then I would highly recommend the book. And that's the only thing that I might have said to her if I'd have known when she was going to publish it is this is not generally the time of year when people read deep books or books that make them think. This is usually the time of year people read books by the pool. So, but I'm sure people are going to love it. She's going to do well enough that she'll be ready to write her next book, and that's really all it takes. I mean, that's it. I'm hoping she does well enough that it inspires her to write the next book. I was talking to somebody earlier today. I can't mention his name because I'm working as his coach, and I promised not to mention his name. So, but one of the things we were talking about is defining success. And to me, I look at it in two different ways. There's personal success, and there's financial success. And there are a lot of people out there that are doing really good work. They just aren't making a lot of money from it yet. So I hope Lorraine does good enough, makes enough money for it that maybe she can take a little time off before she finishes her other book. Now I don't know how this works, Mitchell. When you put a book like that on Amazon, is it available on Kindle and Nook and stuff like that, or do they have to post it to their sites too?
I don't know. I have never done such a thing. So.
Well, I just figured you might have read. I've never even read an ebook. I don't have a Kindle or a Nook because I had a Kindle, but I wasn't happy with the accessibility, so I gave it to my brother. So I don't know. I don't know if since it's a ebook that's listed on Amazon, which is a sales site. So I'm guessing you could probably download it to your tablet or any of the e-readers, since Amazon is like the site for downloading ebooks. Pretty much the site for just about anything now. If you want to buy it, you buy it on Amazon. I've thought about opening a store there myself. One problem is I don't have a way to accept payments on behalf of my clients or ship the rides to people if they buy them. So I'm kind of staying off, but I've thought about it. That would be kind of funny, though, wouldn't it? Yeah. Get that confirmation email from Amazon and go, okay, midwaymarketplace.com, the payment for the Himalaya has been processed and your money will be received in however long it takes.
That would be pretty funny.
It would be funny. Now I'm actually thinking about maybe I should do it. I don't know. I got a hot dog cart they can have for $1,500. Maybe I should try something like that if I'm going to give Amazon a try. Maybe I should go for the lower cost, more commercial items. I don't know. I have to think about that. It's just one of those crazy ideas. It's probably better off a no than a yes. Back to the fellow I was talking to earlier today. Like I say, it looks like I finally have my first coaching client. He's one of the people that took me up on my free offer a few weeks ago, where I told people that I had 3 slots available for free coaching, so that I could find out if I like it and find out if I'm any good at it before I start charging for it. And of the people that sent me emails saying they were interested, he's the only one that has actually made contact, and we've actually had a session. So, but at least that's a step forward. That's, it's one of those things that it isn't a done thing. I don't know if he'll call back. I don't know if I helped him or not, but at least it's a first step. So, and I felt good enough about it that I went to the the I went to the place where I have my T-shirts listed for sale, and I posted a link on there that I'm now accepting coaching for $50 an hour, and that I'll do public speaking for $100 plus expenses. So so far nobody's taken me up on free or for charge, but I figure at least putting a dollar figure on it is a start. It would be nice if at some point if I have to raise the numbers.
It would be. Hey, Max, I think I lost you.
Well, heck. Are we back on? I don't know. Starting to wonder whether it's even worth continuing these, considering how badly they've been working lately. I think I'm going to have to check with Seth and see what he's doing. Maybe he's using too much of our Wi-Fi to play World of Warcraft.
Sorry about that, Max. I'm back.
It wasn't you. I left too.
No, my computer crashed. It just shut itself down and restarted. I guess I had a Windows update going on in the background. I didn't notice it.
That's funny because over here it said that the call ended because the system broke. So I don't know. I was sitting here wondering if maybe it was one of the other people in the house using the Wi-Fi that caused the problem. But you think it was because your system went down, huh?
I have no idea.
I don't have any idea either, man. I just pretend to know what I'm doing with this Google Hangout thing. But it is the best option we have, so we keep using it.
Yep.
Sadly, the paid options aren't any better.
Nope.
So, back to the question I was asking you when we broke down. Like I say, I posted that I changed it from free to $50 for an hour for coaching, or $100 plus expenses for speaking. I was going to get your reaction to those numbers.
You said you changed it to 50?
Yeah. It had been free, and to make an appearance was just my expenses. So, I mean, so far I only have one person even at free, but I figured I'd go ahead and change it. We'll see. We were having a discussion on one of the other sites today about people getting more results if they have to invest in the process. So.
True.
And it reminded me of the one time I went to a seminar about the possibility of getting a guide dog, and they told us all that if we wanted a dog, we had to come up with $250 of our own money, because they figured if you had to raise even that much, you were more likely to take your training seriously and treat the dogs good.
Well, yeah, if you had to spend $250 on it.
Well, understanding that most of the people in that room were on Social Security, disability, or whatever money they could get from their parents, so raising $250 would have been a lot harder than it sounds. Although, considering our recent work with Indigo for outsourcing, $250 sounds like a lot right this minute.
I mean, I work a full-time job, 40 hours a week. I had above minimum wage, and $250 is still a lot of money for me.
Yeah. Let's see, the new blog is doing really well. A lot of people are reading it and leaving comments. That's theblindblogger.net. Tried to transfer it from where it's at, using the forwarding thing, to actually having its own website, but that's not working out yet. So far on the internet, it still thinks that I'm at Blogspot, but that's not really a bad thing, because at least it's still where it was. At least it didn't get hung up somewhere in between. And Michael told me it can take anywhere from a day or 2 days for the name servers to be transferred from the free site to the paid site. So hopefully tomorrow it'll be transferred, and I can start moving it over to a WordPress site, which is more what I'm used to. I started with the free site mainly because I wasn't sure that anybody would care about the posts, and yeah, a lot of the responses are from people who know me from other sites and from their blogs, but I'm getting 25 comments a post, and usually I I can't get 25 a post. I think I've gotten that twice in a year and a half of posts for the Midway Marketplace. One time was the interview I did with Troy Powell up in Michigan. The other one was I did that post on using Pinterest. Those are the only two times I've gotten that many. So would be nice to start being found by some people to get some comments that say this is the first post of yours I've read. That would be kind of cool. Or get some more people sharing the posts. But it's all process. Like you were talking about with the radio station, you may just continue to do slow going all the time. One of the people I follow wrote a blog this week about some Japanese business terms, and one of the words that they use is kaizen, K-A-I-Z-E-N, which means small and continuous change. And they encourage their employees to do that on a daily basis in their company and their personal lives, to make small incremental changes every day. So today I got rid of a bunch of email out of my inbox. It still isn't anywhere near empty, but it's closer than it's been in a while. I still need to do the video about the train. I still need to post those new rides. They did accept me to be one of the peer advisors for the American Foundation for the Blind. So their topic for this month is independence versus interdependence. So that's something I need to be thinking about, what I can write about that. And I think it's called findingourway.com, Susan Cooper's website. She's going to be posting a guest post of mine over there this week or next week. And I'm still waiting on Alvaro to send me the questions for our podcast interview next month. So lots of stuff going on. None of it's directly producing income, but it's all positive. It's all going in the right direction, like you were talking about with the radio station. So, with your new server, have you been able to see yet what kind of numbers of users and time that they've been on there is?
I'm still playing around with it. I have increased stats for my page. They're loading up here real quick. I mean, I can tell how many individual views I had on each individual page, which I couldn't do before. I can tell how long someone... I mean, no, I can't tell that. I can tell how many people I have on. It gets iffy when they're mobile viewers viewing from like a cell phone or even out of the app. So that's something that's different. I will be able to get a spreadsheet at the end of each month with statistics on it for billing purposes.
Well, that's good.
So
Do they bill you? They bill you based on usage?
ASCAP will. Well, ASCAP
okay.
BMI. So hopefully this first bill will be a small one because they haven't had much activity.
Well, if I remember right, there was a story last year where they changed the rules on ASCAP where they charge a different rate based on the size of the station and the amount of usage to try to encourage the startups of radio stations like yours. So hopefully it will be a small bill the
Yeah,
first
like
month.
from what I've heard, the minimum's like $50. So I can only hope it's a minimum of 50, or I can only hope that that's somewhat accurate. So the first bill is somewhat small.
Yeah, well, I hope so too. If it isn't, hopefully they'll. Hopefully it'll be because you've had so much usage that you'll be generating some additional funds to pay the bill with.
Yeah. So far that hasn't been the case, but I've been down a lot. So
Plus, it's next to impossible to sell time with unless you can show them statistics, and you don't have statistics yet. So, I have read stuff online about blogs, which is different than what you're doing. But generally, I have seen people who have advised people not to even try to get income for the first 6 months, not to even go after it. Now, I disagree with that. I think that there's nothing wrong with going ahead and getting your name out there and telling people what you're doing, what you're planning on doing, and a few of those people are going to watch you and wait to see what you do. But at least your name is in the back of their mind somewhere, or in the back of their assistant's mind somewhere. Because as we all know, a lot of times those
right.
emails don't get read by the person you sent them to. They get read by whoever they hire to read them for them. So. Some of my favorite moments are when I get an email back from somebody at a park that says, yes, I've forwarded your email to the person who makes that decision. Because a lot of the emails I have at amusement parks are not for people in the department that handles the purchase and sale of their equipment. So, but I think you're going to do okay. You've kept your expenses low. That's one thing in your favor.
Well, close to $1,000.
Yeah, but I mean, how there? What? I mean, there isn't really a lot that you could do for that kind of money. I mean, relatively, it's a big amount of money at this point, but relatively, it is not. If you go to websites where people are looking for business opportunities, you rarely ever see anything less than 5, and usually you don't see stuff less than 25 or 50. One of the things I get a kick out of is if somebody sends me an email and they go, do you have anything, even something that needs a lot of work that I could get for $5,000? And a lot of times I have to tell them, no, I don't have anything in that price range. So I just got a listing last night for 2. Those games where you put the tokens in them and try to push the prizes or other tokens off. They call them dozers or coin pushers.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a park yesterday. They're going to send me some pictures tonight of 2 NASCAR themed coin pushers. They're each 8 players. They paid $47,500 a piece for them 2 years ago. They'll be very happy if I can get them 20 a piece for them.
Wow.
And you've been to these little family entertainment centers. They don't just have one game; they have dozens or hundreds of games. So I was sitting there thinking, if I had a trailer and 40,000 to blow, I'd have to think about getting back in the carnival business, but I just don't. So luckily, I don't have that decision to make, because I think a NASCAR themed pusher with NASCAR graphics and NASCAR sound system on a Midway would do pretty good. And you could put both of them in a 14-foot center trailer, so it wouldn't take a big truck to haul it or nothing. Yeah, I actually thought about it, but luckily I don't have financing for 40 grand or 50, because it would take an extra 10 for a trailer. So but yeah, we're gonna have those 2 NASCAR coin pushers. So if anybody's watching that might want to buy one of those, they're only 2 years old and they might as well be new. So, and I think at 40,000 for both of them, that'd be a pretty good deal. They asked me if I wanted to make them an offer, and I thought about it. So, but back to you, $1,000. It's a lot of money, but considering that considering, I mean, how many dreams in this world can you chase for $1,000 in the United States?
Good point.
I mean, yeah,
Good
if you're
point.
in Bangladesh or Bali or one of these second or third world countries, you might could start a business for $60 American or $100 American. We've all seen those online, those stories online. But you know, I got a hot dog cart that needs work. They want $1,500 for.
Yeah. Welcome to America. Everyone's trying to get every penny out of everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're all trying to diss on America, but
we're all trying to monetize. Everybody's trying to get whatever they can. Everybody's looking for new income streams, new ways of generating revenue. Shoot, even our own Congress is always trying to find new ways to increase revenue without calling it a tax. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. If people want to I still have the donate button on the Midway Marketplace. I don't have one yet on the blindblogger.net because if you move a site from Blogger to WordPress, you can't take your pages with you anyway. So I didn't see the use in creating a page for it. I would have to do it again. So, but donate button still at Midway Marketplace. If you'd like to support me by buying a shirt, I can send you a link where you can buy the shirt. Or if you want to go to the Indiegogo campaign, that's still going on through the end of July. And if it doesn't work, I might redo it or extend it. Or like I say, there's also the possibility of doing something with Brian Jackson and their TV network. So I'm looking at whatever opportunities come available. But on the Indiegogo campaign, it's, for $1 donation, you get a social media mention. For $5, you get a mention on all 5 networks. $10, you get a picture of me wearing this pretty shirt. $20 a mouse pad. $35 a regular shirt. $50 a much nicer shirt. $75 you get an ad during the hangout. $100 you get the DVD with autographed. $175 you get the DVD, a shirt, and two mugs. $250 you get a ad during the video, the YouTube video, the show video. $500 you get a 60-second ad during the show video. $1,000 3 hours of coaching or personal time with me, Mr. Midway, or the blind blogger, depending on which one you prefer. And for $2,500, I'll come and meet with you and your team personally. Well, I'm still hoping that the Indiegogo thing's going to work, so I had to at least run it all down because I think it's been a few weeks since I mentioned it. Trying to think, there was something else. You got anything coming up? Anything you're working on? You want to tease with people since I didn't really bring much with me tonight?
Just that we do have an app in development, and I don't know if I brought this. I mentioned it last week. Lovely Laura Brem is in contact with us again. So I should have audio drops here shortly. Big thanks to her for being willing to work with us, even though we are the new kids on the block.
Okay, how do you spell her name? I'm not exactly sure what it.
B-R-E-H-M. Brem.
B-R-E Brem. Okay, so it's Laura Brem.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
She's been giving us the tour around the streets in the music world.
Oh, good. It's always nice to have a guide. especially somebody that ought to know their way around.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And what exactly is a drop? Because I don't.
So when you're listening to the radio, when you just hear that voice that comes on between songs that says you're listening to this station, or thank you for listening, or that just tells you a little bit about what's going on. If it's not an actual DJ that's live on air, it's just an audio recording that's set in there. It's set to drop per se.
Okay.
So like if you're listening to the radio and you just hear this show brought to you by midwaymarketplace.com or whatever, that would be an audio drop because you're not there announcing it. It's just a drop into the conversation.
Okay. All right.
If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Considering the market, if y'all want to do a drop involving me, use the blindblogger.net.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you. But I doubt it's the right audience for the Midway marketplace is the real point there. I doubt it's the right audience for that group. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I don't know enough about the people listening to the music to even say one way or the other if the truth is known.
16 through 25-year-olds?
Well, probably not. Probably not. I'll have to think about that. Generally, most people in that age group are looking at different career paths, so I would doubt they'd be interested in the Midway, but I could be wrong. I would say for most people that age, this is just a guess, but the line from Wayne's World comes to mind where he said, "I'll probably just end up hosing lung butter out of the rides at Worlds of America." So I'm thinking that anything having to do with my field would probably be like a punishment to most people at this point in their life. It's just a guess. Be like if everything else doesn't work out, then maybe I might have some interest. But like I say, I don't really know enough about the age group to say. I'm just making a guess. I'm glad to hear that she's going to be doing those audio drops for you, and I tell you what, I keep hoping somebody is going to do, but so far nobody has done this, and I even asked a couple of people directly that I thought would come through for me on this, and they didn't do it. What I really need is I need a commercial for somebody that I can play during the Hangout or during one of my YouTube videos and go, okay, this is what it would look like if you ran a commercial on one of my videos, and then track the response to that commercial so I could then say, okay, here's what it would be worth if you decided to do this for your company. That's what I need. I need somebody with a commercial. I don't even really care if the product has anything to do with the amusement industry, because even if it doesn't, I would still be able to track the results. And I think that if I generate, and who knows, it might actually be better if it's something not having to do with the amusement industry, because I could maybe make the case that this is a whole segment that you are totally missing out on, that you could take advantage of by putting an ad with me. That make any sense?
Yeah.
So I need a commercial. So if you know anybody that's got a commercial with video and audio that would like to have some free time, I'm not even going to charge them for it. As long as it doesn't have any nudity in it, I'm not going to. I will pretty much accept anything as long as it isn't offensive, because the goal is to sell time. So I want people to like it. But pretty much any company, any product, I won't even charge you for it. I just want to be able to generate the metrics, be able to make a case to other potential advertisers that they should invest money in me. That's all I want to do. So if anybody's watching, or if you know anybody, Mitchell, I'm going to remind a couple of people that I talked to earlier this week and see why they haven't sent me their commercials.
I will do what I can.
I know how to do it now. I know how to do a screen share where I could run a commercial during these Hangouts, and adding a commercial to my YouTube videos when I make them. I know I haven't made one in like 3 weeks, but I'm due. I've got the video. I just haven't felt properly inspired to record a video. But adding a commercial into one of my YouTube videos about a piece of equipment would be nothing. It would be no harder than when I add the other people's video that they sent me. So it's not going to take me much time. It's not going to take me any additional skill or software. I just want to test the waters, and if I can prove that it works, then maybe I can start generating some advertising revenue. And I keep telling myself that between equipment sales, and if I could sell some merchandise and sell some advertising, that I could eventually be where I want to be financially. I was telling you earlier, to me, there's 2 levels of success. There's personal and financial. I consider myself a personal success. The website's going well, the blog's going well, people like me, people want me to succeed. I'm considered one of the experts in the amusement industry. Personally, I'm doing very well. I do the radio shows. I'm getting invited to do guest posts and podcasts, so that's all good. But my financial success needs to start matching my personal success soon. So if you can think of, tell the guy at the furniture store, I'll give him a free commercial. It won't cost him nothing. All he's got to do is get me the video. Okay?
Okay.
I'm serious. Tell the guy at the furniture store I'm gonna give him a free 30 seconds at least once or twice a week, just so I can show people what the time's worth. It ain't gonna cost him nothing. All he's got to do is get me the video in an MP4 file, so that I don't have to edit it when I get it. If he can do that, I'll give him some free time. Hey, tell him it was your idea. What am I thinking? Tell him it was your idea. Tell him you heard, or you kind of got the idea that I might be open to. Come on, I'm sure you can spin it if you think about it a minute or two. Just
probably
tell him it was your idea. That way, if he actually goes for it, both of us will get something out of it.
There we go.
There we go. Tell him if he wants to. He can even tell him if he wants to. I'll make sure that I'll make sure I add a link to his new Facebook page in the show notes. So not only will he get the video for free, but he will get a social mention on the video that will also show up on all my social media.
I'll mention it.